Stop buying balance gadgets, stop installing more handrails, and forget those anti-slip socks. After 26 years as a physical therapist, I can tell you they are not saving you from falls. The single most effective thing you can do today isn't something you buy, it's a change in how you walk. One specific adjustment to a movement you've been doing wrong for years without knowing it. I see this pattern constantly. A patient comes in after a fall, embarrassed, saying, "I was just walking across the kitchen." And they're right. They weren't doing anything unusual. That's exactly the problem. Your daily walk has quietly become dangerous, and nobody told you. The way you move has shifted into a high-risk habit that puts you at serious risk every single time you step out of bed. Today, I'm changing that. I'm going to show you the one simple biomechanical adjustment that begins protecting you immediately starting with your very next step. No equipment, no gym, just one change that could genuinely save your life. But before we fix your gait, if you want practical, research-backed health tips that actually work, hit subscribe. You're joining a community that values preparedness over panic. Type 1 in the comments if you're ready to take control of your stability. Now, let's expose the hidden problem behind your walk, the shuffle gait. I want you to pause for a moment and honestly visualize the way you or a loved one moves through a hallway. Picture someone walking with steps that have become noticeably shorter than they were a decade ago. Their feet barely clear the floor, sliding forward in a low, cautious shuffle rather than lifting cleanly with each stride. Their upper body leans slightly forward as if bracing against an invisible wind. Their gaze is fixed downward toward the ground. And their arms hang stiffly at their sides with almost no natural swing. They are moving deliberately, carefully, because somewhere deep in their subconscious they know the floor feels less trustworthy than it used to. This is not just slowing down. This is a specific documented movement pattern called shuffle gait, and it is one of the most prevalent and dangerous walking adaptations I observe in adults over 70. Shuffle gait develops so gradually that most people never notice its arrival. What begins as a moment of caution after a near miss or a bout of dizziness slowly solidifies into a permanent habit. The steps shorten. The feet stop lifting, the posture collapses forward, and what feels like safe, careful walking is, biomechanically, one of the highest risk movement patterns your body can adopt. Here is why this pattern is so treacherous. When your feet remain close to the ground, you eliminate your margin for error. Any minor surface irregularity, a curled rug edge, a slight rise in flooring, a crack in the sidewalk, even a shadow becomes an instant trip hazard. There is simply insufficient clearance between your foot and the floor for anything to go wrong without it going catastrophically wrong. Because your steps are short and your center of mass is already pitched forward, the moment your toe catches an obstacle, your body has neither the time nor the leverage to recover. The fall occurs before your brain even registers that you are falling. You are not tripping because you are clumsy, you are tripping because your gait has removed your ability to absorb and correct for environmental variables. But shuffle gait is more than a mechanical failure. It is a symptom of two deeper, interconnected issues. First, the muscles responsible for lifting your legs, your hip flexors, glutes, and core, have weakened from chronic underuse. When you stop demanding that these muscles perform their full range of motion, they atrophy. Second, and equally critical, the neurological connection between your brain and your legs has slowed. Walking is not purely muscular, it is a complex sensoromotor loop. When you shuffle for months or years, your nervous system stops sending strong signals to lift, reach, and push off. The pathway fades. Your brain literally forgets how to command a proper stride. This is why willpower alone cannot fix shuffle gait. You cannot try harder to walk correctly when the neural infrastructure has degraded. Here is the essential truth that separates fear from agency. Both of these underlying causes are reversible. Muscle weakness from disuse responds to targeted reactivation. Neurological slowdown responds to deliberate, repetitive retraining. Your body retains plasticity well into your 8th and 9th decades. The degradation was not caused by aging itself. It was caused by adaptation to a reduced demand signal. That means you can send a new signal. You can rebuild the strength. You can restore the connection. But reversal does not happen through vague encouragement or generic exercise. It happens through one precise, biomechanically correct adjustment applied consistently to every single step you take. Before we get to the exercises that will rebuild your capacity, you must first understand the exact change that needs to replace the shuffle. That change is not about effort, it is about mechanics, and it starts with the part of your foot that should be meeting the ground first but probably hasn't in years. The adjustment I want you to make is deceptively simple, yet it fundamentally alters your biomechanics. From this moment forward, every single step you take must begin with your heel. This is called a heel strike, and it is how human beings are biomechanically engineered to walk. When you were younger, before fear or weakness altered your movement, your gait was natural and unguarded. Your heel made contact with the ground first, your weight rolled smoothly through the arch, across the ball of your foot, and finally pushed off through your toes to drive the next step. It is a continuous, efficient rolling motion that provides maximum stability and momentum. But here is what happens over time. As confidence erodes and muscles weaken, that distinct heel strike disappears. The foot begins to land flat or even toe first in a pattern that is shorter, lower, and far less stable. We stop rolling through the foot, we stop pushing off, we start shuffling, and with every month of shuffling, the muscles responsible for a proper stride, the hip flexors, glutes, and core, grow weaker because they are simply not being asked to work. By reclaiming the heel strike, you are not just changing how you walk, you are reversing years of neurological and muscular decay. So, what does correcting this actually look like in practice? It is simpler than you might think, but it requires conscious intent. With each step, I want you to reach your heel slightly forward just a few inches more than you normally would, and let it make firm contact with the ground first. Feel the weight shift forward through the arch of your foot. Let your toes push off behind you as you prepare for the next step. And, most importantly, lift your foot. Do not slide it. Pick it up, reach it forward, land on the heel. When you execute this correctly, a powerful chain reaction occurs throughout your entire body. First, your step length naturally increases, which improves your forward momentum and dynamic stability. Second, your foot clears the ground properly, virtually eliminating the risk of catching on surface irregularities like rug edges or cracks. Third, your posture automatically improves. The heel strike pulls your center of gravity back and upright, pulling you out of that dangerous forward-leaning shuffle position. Finally, your hip flexors, glutes, and core are suddenly being asked to work again. This begins rebuilding the very strength that protects you from falls. One change, one adjustment, but it triggers a systemic shift that begins working for you rather than against you with every single step. Now that you understand the mechanics of the solution, we need to make it automatic. You cannot rely on conscious thought for every step in a real-world environment. You need to retrain your nervous system and rebuild the underlying strength. To do that, I am going to show you 5 specific exercises that will make this new walking pattern feel natural, strong, and safe. Exercise 1. Conscious heel strike, walk the first step in reversing shuffle gait is not physical strength, but neurological reprogramming. For years, your brain has defaulted to a shuffling pattern because the neural pathway for a proper heel strike has faded from disuse. This exercise is designed to rebuild that connection through slow, deliberate repetition. Find a clear hallway or a long open space where you can walk safely. Stand at one end with one hand lightly touching the wall for stability if needed. Begin walking, but this time your only focus is your heel. With every single step, consciously reach your heel slightly forward and let it land first. Feel the contact. Feel your weight roll through the arch of your foot. Feel your toes push off behind you. Take 10 steps forward in this manner, then turn carefully using small marching steps and walk back 10 steps. That is one set. Complete 3 sets, resting for 30 seconds between each. Speed is the enemy here. The slower you walk, the more conscious control you have over each movement, and the stronger the signal you send to your brain. Think of this as reprogramming your software, not just exercising your muscles. Once you feel comfortable on flat ground, progress by varying the surface. Try moving from hardwood to carpet. The slight change in texture forces your nervous system to adapt and generalize the pattern, which is exactly what you need for real-world safety. This simple act of mindful walking lays the foundation for everything that follows. Exercise 2, High Knee March 1 of the most direct consequences of shuffle gait is the weakening of the hip flexors. The muscles responsible for lifting your leg with each step. When these muscles are weak, your foot clearance drops, turning every rug edge or threshold into a potential trip hazard. This exercise specifically targets those hip flexors to rebuild the lifting reflex that keeps your feet safely above the ground. Stand behind a sturdy chair with both hands resting lightly on the back for support. March in place, lifting your right knee toward your chest as high as you comfortably can, then lowering it back to the floor with control. Repeat with the left knee. That is one full repetition. Aim for 15 repetitions on each side, totaling 30 lifts, performed at a slow, deliberate pace. The lift should feel effortful. If it feels too easy, you are not going high enough. Throughout the movement, stand tall. Do not lean your upper body backward as your knee rises. Keep your torso upright so the work comes entirely from your hip, not from momentum or body lean. Pay close attention to the lowering phase. Controlling the descent is equally important for building the eccentric strength your legs need when your foot returns to the ground. As this becomes easier, progress by combining this march with forward movement. Lift each knee before stepping, then place your heel down first. You are now simulating proper walking mechanics while actively strengthening the muscles required to sustain them. Exercise 3. Stride length walk shuffle. Gait dramatically shortens your stride, often to half its original length. A short stride is an unstable stride. It reduces momentum, disrupts balance rhythm, and forces your center of gravity into an awkward, forward-pitched position. This exercise gently challenges you to extend your stride back toward a safer, more stable range. Place 2 pieces of tape on your hallway floor about 18 inches apart. This is your target stride length. Stand at one end and take a step forward, aiming to land your heel at or just beyond the second piece of tape. Then step with your other foot, landing the heel at the same distance. Walk the length of the hallway this way for 10 full strides, then turn and return. Complete 2 full lengths of the hallway. Focus entirely on step length and heel contact. Do not lunge or overreach. The goal is a comfortable, natural extension of your stride, not a dramatic exaggeration. If 18 inches feels too far, start with 12. The distance matters less than the habit of reaching that heel forward with intention on every step. Over time, move the tape markers slightly further apart, perhaps half an inch at a time, to progressively challenge your stride length. Most people are surprised by how quickly their stride naturally lengthens once they begin training it consciously. This rebuilds the confidence and muscle memory that a proper walking gait requires, allowing you to move through your home with greater stability and less fear. Exercise 4, slow motion walk speed, is where proper walking mechanics usually break down. When we walk at our normal everyday pace, we rely on habit and momentum rather than conscious muscle control. For someone rebuilding a walking pattern, speed masks weaknesses. The slow motion walk removes speed from the equation entirely, forcing every muscle involved in walking to work independently and with full control. It is one of the most powerful neurological training tools available for relearning safe movement. Stand at one end of your hallway and begin walking at the slowest pace you can physically manage. So slow that each step takes a full 3 to 4 seconds to complete. Lift your foot, pause briefly in the air, reach the heel forward, lower it to the floor, feel the weight shift, push off with the toes, and begin the next step. Walk the full length of the hallway in this style, turn carefully, and return. That is one set. Complete 2 sets. This will feel strange and difficult because it removes all the shortcuts that habitual movement relies on. Every wobble you feel is your balance system being trained. Every correction your ankle makes is your nervous system rebuilding its responsiveness. Embrace the difficulty, it is the whole point. To progress, try closing your eyes for 2 or 3 slow motion steps once you feel steady near the wall. This dramatically increases the proprioceptive challenge and accelerates the neurological adaptation you are building, ensuring your body can maintain balance even when visual cues are limited. Exercise 5. Obstacles step over the controlled environment of a hallway is a starting point, but real life is full of obstacles. rugs, door thresholds, pet toys. And electrical cords are all potential trip hazards for someone with shuffle gait and low foot clearance. This exercise trains your brain and legs to detect an obstacle, lift the foot high enough to clear it, and land safely on the other side. Place a pool noodle, a rolled up towel, or a similarly soft, lightweight object on the floor of your hallway, about 4 to 6 inches high. Stand a few feet back with a wall or chair within reach for support. Walk toward the obstacle at a normal, controlled pace. When you reach it, lift your right foot deliberately high enough to clear the obstacle with room to spare and step over. Then lift your left foot and clear the obstacle completely. Continue walking a few steps beyond it, turn carefully, and return. Stepping over the obstacle again. Complete 5 passes in each direction, totaling 10 stepovers. Do not rush as you approach. Slow down slightly, pick your foot up early, and make a conscious, confident step. The goal is to train your brain to recognize an obstacle, respond in advance, and execute the clearance with control rather than panic. To progress, vary the height of the obstacle or practice stepping over it while carrying something light in one hand. This simulates the way real-life trips tend to happen, preparing you to handle unexpected challenges with confidence and stability. Before you begin practicing any of these exercises, I need you to take this section seriously, because your safety is everything. I am a physical therapist, but I am not your physical therapist, and I do not know your specific medical history. If you have recently had a hip or knee replacement, if you are being treated for plantar fasciitis or any other heel condition, or if you have been explicitly told by your doctor to avoid weight-bearing exercise. Please speak with your physician or healthcare provider before attempting these movements. Some of these exercises may need to be modified for your specific situation, and only a professional who has examined you can give you that guidance. Always practice near a wall, countertop, or sturdy chair that you can grab if you lose your balance. Never rush these exercises. Wear non-slip footwear or go barefoot on a safe non-slip surface. And if at any point you feel sharp pain, dizziness, lightheadedness, or anything that does not feel right, stop immediately. There is no movement here worth risking your injury over. Progress at your own pace and trust your body to tell you when it is ready for more. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. Over the last several minutes, we have dismantled the myth that falling is an inevitable part of aging. We have identified the hidden danger of shuffle gait and replaced it with the biomechanical power of the heel strike. You have learned that numbness in your progress is not permanent. It is simply a signal that your nervous system needs retraining. By waking up the smallest muscles in your toes and ankles, rebuilding the strength in your hips and core, and reconnecting your brain to your legs, you are doing more than just exercising. You are reclaiming your independence. When these exercises are practiced consistently, not perfectly, but consistently, the changes are real and they are lasting. The fear of falling that quietly steals confidence from so many older adults begins to dissolve. The hesitation you feel when stepping off a curb or walking across a slippery floor starts to fade. You begin to trust your legs again. You preserve the ability to walk to your mailbox, climb your own stairs, play with your grandchildren, and move through daily life without constantly wondering whether your legs will hold you. That kind of independence is not a small thing. It is everything. Aging does not mean surrendering control over how your body feels or how you move through the world. It means learning which movements your body truly needs at this stage of life and choosing them every day with care and intention. These 5 exercises are that choice. They are simple, they are safe, and they are powerful in ways that add up over weeks and months. You are not just preventing a fall, you are building a foundation of strength that allows you to live life on your own terms. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 exercises did you find most challenging? Was it the slow motion walk that tested your balance, or the high knee march that tested your strength? Leave a comment below with your age and where you are watching from. Your experience might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today to realize they are not alone in this journey. If you found value in this video, please leave a comment with a 1. If not, feel free to comment with a 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Your feedback helps me serve this community better. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you, share it with a friend or family member who needs to see this, and subscribe to our channel. When you subscribe, you are not just following a channel, you are joining a community of people who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. You are choosing preparedness, health, and longevity. Thank you for watching, and here's to walking through life with confidence, stability, and strength.